Hey there riders, Moto Journo Kris here, and I thought I'd cover the latest announcements from BMW about two new R18 variants, this time offering something a bit more mainstream to the category in the form of the Transcontinental and B versions, which stands for bagger. In Australia, these are arriving from August with pricing on the B from $39,310 and $41,675 for the Transcontinental. In the US, in comparison, the pricing is set from $21,495 for the B and $24,995 for the Transcontinental. And that's as far as base pricing. UK pricing starts at £23,300 for the Transcontinental and £21,500 for the R18B. The difference between the two is the Transcontinental being aimed specifically at long distance rides, especially 2-up, while the bagger is for touring and cruising with some obvious overlap between these two models. For reference, they join the standard R18, which is a stripped back, fairly traditionally inspired cruiser, and the classic, which adds some leather panniers, screen and a dual seat as standard to that base R18 package. Obviously the basis of all these machines is the same, and I'll do a quick recap of those features, but first let's look at what these new versions are actually offering that is unique and sets them apart. Both will run a handlebar mounted fairing, with the Transcontinental receiving a high windshield and the R18B getting a shorter low version. Both receive hard panniers matched to the paint with 27 litres of capacity that is reduced by half a litre with the optional audio system upgrade, while the Transcontinental also adds a colour matched top box as well, adding a further 48 litres of storage and losing a litre of that storage capacity again with the optional audio system. That's a Marshall sound system for reference, with a collaboration between the brand and BMW seeing both new models fitted out, including speakers integrated into the front fairing with black cover grills. That can be extended with the addition of the Marshall Gold Series Stage 1 or Stage 2 upgrades, which offer up to 4 more speakers and 2 subwoofers, which is where you start to see a little bit of that luggage capacity lost. The Transcontinental adds wind deflectors too, also colour matched, with a 24 litre fuel capacity, where the Classic for comparison only carried 16 litres. Also different is the use of a 4 analog clock dash layout, which incorporates a 10.25 inch TFT display rather than the more traditional clocks seen on that R18 Classic, making for more room for navigation information, with these bikes being much more touring orientated as you'd expect. There's a couple of other Transcontinental specific features like the engine guard, running boards and heated seats. However, heated grips are standard on both models alongside keyless ride. Reverse assist and hill start control are however X-Work options. Also run is a mid-mount foot peg for casual and relaxed seating position, with different seats fitted between those two models, with a slimmer 2-person bench on the B compared to the more comfort-orientated seat on the Transcontinental. In comparison to the standard R18, the R18B's footrests are wider and more comfortable according to BMW. Both models will be available in a traditional black paint scheme, Manhattan metallic matte, or a pretty groovy 719 Galaxy Dust metallic option, which looks as psychedelic as it sounds. Plus, there's a special first edition version of the R18B and Transcontinental with exclusive paint and chrome livery, as well as special stitching on the seat. The first editions include black contrast milled wheels on the B with silver grey contrast milled rims on the Transcontinental. There's also chrome case clasps, handlebar fittings, cylinder head covers and hero chest, as well as chrome plated intake trims. And then you get white double lining on the fuel tanks, fairing, trunk and cases. The Transcontinental also adds to that some chrome-plated brake calipers. Another inclusion in the first edition is a welcome box including fuel tank emblems, copper-coloured slotted screws, working gloves, assembly screwdriver which doubles as a keyring, R18 first edition cap, exclusive leather belt, and a BMW Motorrad historical book. This all joins the 1802cc Boxer twin engine, which produces 67 kilowatts of power and 158 newton meters of torque, with 150 of those available essentially everywhere. This is backed by 3 riding modes alongside automatic stability control and the engine drag torque control system, which is known by MSR. Cruise control is also standard with the dynamic cruise control system fitted. However, active cruise control is an X-Works option that includes distance control with radars, allowing the bike to adjust for speed with acceleration or braking, including cornering functionality, with the system apparently capable of reducing cornering speed for a safe banking angle. That said, why you'd be running cruise control in any situation where lean angle is a significant factor is a bit of a head scratcher for me at least. The chassis is shared with a double loop tube steel frame and double-sided swing arm running a cantilever suspension strut, plus shaft final drive. Forks meanwhile are 49mm units with 120mm of travel at each end, which by cruiser standards is pretty generous. Wheels are light alloy cast units running a 19-inch front and 16-inch rear. The braking system is 300mm rotors, 2 at the front and 1 at the rear, all running 4-piston calipers with BMW Motorrad full integral ABS, which is a linked brake system. That means both front and rear brake levers activate the entire system. Keeping in mind the R18B weighs in at 398 kilos at the curb, while the Transcontinental is 427 kilos at the curb. In comparison, the seat height is a low 720mm on the B compared to 740mm on the Transcontinental, with a top speed of 180km claimed by BMW, or 160 if the bike is fully laden, with the tank being claimed to be good for a 400km range, and a total permitted weight on the bike is 630 kilos. Naturally, there's an enormous range of accessories available to further customize your R18 for those with a bit of moolah left over after purchasing the bike. As a quick recap on that pricing as well, in Australia, pricing starts on the B at $39,310, $41,675 for that Transcontinental. In the US, in comparison, pricing is set at $21,495 for the B or $24,995 for the Transcontinental base pricing, and UK it starts at $23,300 for the Transcontinental in pounds or £21,500 for the R18B, and those are starting prices. So what do you reckon of BMW's move to place these new R18 variants squarely in the touring cruiser segment? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching and stay safe out there.